Good evening. The council is back in session now, and we will receive testimony on the fiscal year 25 capital budget and FY25-30 capital improvements program for county government, Montgomery County Public Schools, Montgomery College, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, WSSCWater, the Washington Suburban Transit Commission, the Revenue Authority, the Housing Opportunities Commission, and the municipality and state projects. Projects in the 6-year program include facilities for parks, recreation, roads, schools, community college, libraries, fire station, mass transit, housing, police, corrections, and rehabilitation, general government, and other public purposes. Each individual who is here will have 3 minutes to speak. We have 45 speakers who are signed up to testify this evening. We're going to go in panels for those who are here in person, starting with Dr. Michael Britnall, Allison Gillespie, Link Hoeing, Stephen Newton, and Monica Braden. Dr. Britnall, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, President Friedson, Vice President Stewart, council members. I'm Michael Britnall. I'm chair of the Board of Trustees at Montgomery College. And I know you'll be hearing from Montgomery College students and alumni in this hearing, and theirs is really the compelling voice. But I wanted to say that the opportunity for their success, for county workforce, for promoting entrepreneurship, for transforming lives, arises significantly from the support that the college receives from you, the support that you provide. So I want to start off by saying thank you. We value this support a great deal. The capital budget that is recommended by the county executive funds projects on all 3 campuses. This includes delivering modern libraries which serve high technology, learning and study centers. It used to be you went to the library for a book, but boy, it doesn't work that way anymore. And we're really grateful for your support for these projects. The budget will also advance a new campus in the East County, The college recently submitted to MHAC, the Maryland Higher Education Commission, our 10-year facilities master plan, with an East County campus included in the plan. This is a big first step, and we look forward to engaging with you and with the residents in the campus planning for that. But in the interim, the East County Education Center on Broadbridge Drive will launch this spring. It's very close to opening, scheduled in April. And yes, higher education can turn on a dime. Nobody believes that, but in Montgomery County you can do that, and we are opening doors virtually as we speak in East County. But we also want to ask you to support a new project. This is renovation of the Theater Arts Building on the Rockville campus. Theater arts education is dynamic humanities. It's active learning, it's launching careers, it's high-tech arts. Students learn acting, they learn makeup and costuming, they learn production, they learn lighting, they learn cultural history, they learn arts management, and they usually learn a good deal about themselves in the process. So we're excited about the opportunities that can be advanced by renovating this facility. This is the facility that also hosts the Summer Dinner Theater, which I hope you're familiar with and taken advantage of. A hands-on opportunity for students to initiate and lead a project, and it's probably launched a few Broadway careers as well. But this building is badly outdated. It was built in 1966. It was last renovated about 30 years ago. So do please help us to renovate this academic and community space. What ties all these requests together is technology. And so,
Dr. Britnall, sorry to interrupt, but you're going to have to wrap up.
Okay,
3 minutes.
And that's my final request, that you consider funding the technology projects, and we're grateful for your support, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker is Allison Gillespie.
Good evening. My name is Allison Gillespie. I'm a former PTA president, former neighborhood association president, current board member of Bike Maryland, former volunteer for Montgomery Parks, trail liaison for a mountain biking group called the Mid-Atlantic Off-Road Enthusiasts, and the mom of 2 graduates of Einstein High School. For more than 11 years, I was a volunteer at a nature center in Wheaton. I'm here tonight speaking on my own behalf, but all of my experiences in the community have shaped and educated my perspective, and I want you to know I'm heavily invested in making this place better. So I'm here to ask that you support the park's budget request and fully fund our park system. There are many things I'd like that money to do, but I especially want Wheaton Regional Park funded. Our local parks are my cathedral and my gym. They are the place I go for respite, for fun, for fellowship, and exercise. They are one of the best things about living here. Parks are a great investment that pays huge dividends, trails especially. We have a world-class trail system that is the envy of other park systems across the nation, and we need to keep it that way. Each time my friends and I ride our bikes, we stop for lunch or dinner afterwards. One recent adventure in Bethesda took us from our bikes to a wonderful locally owned restaurant where we sat for hours eating, drinking, and having a good time, and spending money on that local business. We've often done the same in Clarksburg, Cloverly, Briggs Cheney, Gaithersburg, and many more places, and we shop for bike equipment locally. Some of my fellow riders travel from Virginia and D.C. to ride here each week, so not only do you serve locals, but the trails bring in money from visitors. Wheaton Regional Park. I was part of the team that worked with park staff in conjunction to plan the future of this incredible, vibrant place. It is one of the most heavily used parks in the system, and it's important to note that for many who live nearby, they do not otherwise have access to outdoor space. This park is the closest thing that many have to a backyard. After 60 years, it is sorely in need of upgrades and repairs. We have a great plan now. Teenagers from all around the county will love the planned adventure sports park, and I say that as the parent of 2 recent teenagers. There are also lots of things that families with young children, bike riders, nature lovers, gardeners, dog owners, pickleball and tennis players, baseball players, and soccer fans have been asking for years. And there are a lot of ways that special quiet places, such as those near Pine Lake, will be improved and protected by the funding. Please fully fund parks so we can make that plan a reality. Past plans for this park sat on the shelf and got dusty due to lack of funding and commitment. Let's not let that happen this time. Let's not let the people of Wheaton down. Please know that if you invest in that space, you're actually investing in the entire community. And Wheaton is a community that really deserves some love and attention. Do the right thing, support the parks budget request, and fully fund our park system. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker, Lynn Cohen.
I'm Link Hoeing from the Fair Access Committee for the Western County. We're a committee of the town of Poolesville led by citizens and members to push for equity in the provision of county and state services and facilities for our area. Hidden need, distance, isolation, and lack of population are the major challenges we face in ensuring equitable access to county services, facilities, and programs, which can be 8 to 14 miles away from many in our area. We founded Fair Access on the belief that the county policies are generally founded on commitment to equity. Our job is to show the inequities that exist and push to redress them. We successfully did that with our outdated high school, and we thank all of you for the past support we got. What we are advocating today is not new spending programs, but rather catch-up programs to invest in services and programs we should have already had, like many other county residents. First, the county executive just submitted CIP plan includes design and construction funding for a Western County Community Center, and we urge your support of this very important project. The POR for the center includes clinic space, and working with our charitable services organization, WOMCO, we will also be supporting an initiative to fund a new equity program called the Rural Healthcare Initiative. With these funds, WOMCO's leadership and the new clinic space, we can really help address the healthcare inequities that exist in our area. I want to thank Council Members Balcom, Friedson, and Lukey in particular for supporting this initiative. Second, we have a very large aging population, lots of young families, and a very competitive swim team. Making our pool a year-round facility could help older people who need rehabilitation, provide healthy year-round recreation opportunities for these families, and give our swim team more opportunities to succeed since they are so far from nearby facilities. Third, we held an economic forum about the Western economy and the Ag Reserve last October and released a white paper explaining the importance of the hub and spoke economy of our area, which is heavily reliant on small family-owned businesses, nonprofits, and historic and recreation venues. As a commercial hub of the Western County, initiatives that can help Poolesville support the spokes around it and attract visitors, as well as support Western County residents, benefit our area and the county. Support for an arts and performing arts center in the old historic Methodist Church in Poolesville will help make the town and the Western County more attractive to visitors and tourists. We also have an incredible and vibrant arts community led by Riverworks, which is leading the effort to make this facility a reality. We urge the county to include a grant to help make the center a reality. Finally, we want to thank the council for holding hearings on White's Ferry last year. We're appalled by the selfishness and lack of civic mindedness we have witnessed in this 3-year saga. We want the ferry to run again, but all we can do now, honestly, is hope for a breakthrough somehow. However, I was at the rally we had in December. Some guy was the Grinch at that point. I don't know who he was, but if I have to bring him back and scare some people, I will do that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We're glad you didn't come in costume this evening and scare anybody. Our next speaker is Stephen Newton.
Good evening.
Just make sure you got your microphone. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to tell you what I love about Montgomery County. My name is Stephen Newton, and I have been a resident of Montgomery County for more than 50 years. I was born and raised here, and I'm really proud of that fact and proud of what this county represents and offers to the residents and people who live and work here. The thing that I think about when I think about all of the years in Montgomery County is I think about parks. The first thing I think about, frankly, is Cabin John Park, because that was my childhood. And it represents an opportunity to connect people together, connect people to nature. And you might not have thought of it this way, but it also connects people to the county and to you and the people who are providing services, because that's really how I learned about Montgomery County government and the people who are working to make this all run, is through my interactions with parks. And I think parks is an amazing steward of the land and of the relationships with the people, volunteer opportunities, and the opportunities that parks gives for things like reducing unnecessary vehicle trips, because people can get a break, they can get a moment from something that's a place that's like right down the street. These are ways that we can be making this county work better for everybody. Traffic and housing and equity, all of these things intersect through parks. So I strongly recommend that you fully fund Parks' requested budget for capital improvements for the year. Wheaton Regional Park is absolutely a jewel. The stables there could use some help. And the natural surface trails all throughout the county. Northwest Branch needs a little bit of help still. There's been some great progress there, but they could use some getting out of the floodplain and similar things in Sligo and places like that. So I'm really excited to see what's coming, and I'm hopeful that you will help Parks enact their vision. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Monica Braden, and I just want to cue Marcela, who is on Zoom, to help with translation if needed.
Buenas noches, presidente Andrew Fredson y demás concejales. Mi nombre es Mónica Braden. He vivido en el área de Glenmont por más de 23 años. Soy proveedora de cuidado infantil, child care provider, en el hogar y madre de 3 hijos nacidos, crecidos en este condado. Estoy aquí en apoyo a los más de 40 millones de dólares recomendados en el presupuesto de programas de mejoras de capital para el Centro de Arte Cultural de Wheaton. Por más de 10 años, mis vecinos y yo hemos venido abogando y apoyando todos los proyectos de desarrollo de Wheaton. Y este centro cultural sería otro más que beneficiaría muchísimo a todos los que vivimos ahí. Este proyecto es de mucha importancia por muchas razones, pero quiero enfocarme en los beneficios que traerá para la juventud. El arte es fundamental para el desarrollo personal y una buena herramienta para que nuestros jóvenes expresen su creatividad y estimulen sus mentes. Espero que este centro ofrezca oportunidades y los espacios para poder participar en actividades tanto culturales, musicales y de pintura para los cuales ayudan a los jóvenes a desarrollar sus habilidades físicas, sociales, emocionales y cognitivas. Sobre todo, es una herramienta más para el desarrollo positivo de nuestros jóvenes. También quiero decirles que estoy muy de acuerdo sobre la construcción de vivienda, la cual incluye vivienda asequible. Tenemos la dicha de vivir en un lugar de mucha diversidad racial, social y económica. Así que me parece muy bien que este proyecto incluya tanto la construcción de vivienda y en especial vivienda asequible. Finalmente, ya que vivo también cerca del centro comercial de Glenmont, estoy muy de acuerdo con los fondos recomendados para la adquisición de propiedad. Necesitamos mejoras en este centro comercial, tanto en el estacionamiento y sobre todo hacerlo más atractivo y seguro. El área de la seguridad para nosotros es una prioridad. Muchísimas gracias a todos por la oportunidad de compartir mi testimonio.
Good evening, Council President Andrew Friedson and Council members. My name is Monica Braden. I have lived in the Glenmont area for more than 23 years. I am a home childcare provider. I am also the mother of 3 kids that were born and raised in the county. I am here in support of the more than $40 million recommended in the CIP budget for the Wheaton Arts and Cultural Center. For more than 10 years, my neighbors and I have been advocating and supporting all the development projects in Wheaton. Investing the money in this cultural center will be a great benefit for us. This project is very important for many reasons, but I would like to focus on the benefits that it will bring to our youth. Art is essential for the personal development and a good tool for our young people to express their creativity and stimulate their minds. I hope that this center offers positive youth development programming like cultural, musical, and painting activities, which will help young people develop their physical, social, emotional, and cognitive skills. I also want to share that I strongly agree with the housing component of this project that includes affordable housing. We are fortunate to live in a community with diverse socioeconomic backgrounds, and it is good that this project includes the construction of housing, especially affordable housing. Finally, I live very close to the Glenmont Shopping Center, so I agree with the funds that are recommended to acquire the property. We need improvements in the shopping center, its parking lot, and to make it more attractive and safer. Priority needs to be given to safety. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share my testimony.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We're going to call up our next panel. Michael Riley, Casey Anderson, Michael Larkin, and Roger Massey. I think this is our first time with former Director Riley in capacity as a private citizen here. We'll start with you. Mr. Private Citizen Riley, when you're ready, you have 3 minutes.
Well, thank you so much, Council President Friedson and council members. I am a 32-year resident of Montgomery County and a proud resident of Kensington. This is my first time ever testifying as a resident, so please treat me gently and bear with me if I slip out. But seriously, it's good to be back with so many friends in this room after such a rewarding career at Montgomery Parks. I'm here to thank you for your past support of our parks, and no surprise asking you to do it yet once again. So I'd like to tell you a story about my day on Friday, January 26th. That was the 80-degree day we had a little over a few weeks ago. Well, I'm sure you were all very busy working hard to make Montgomery County even a better place in many ways. Not to rub it in too much, I was on a 3-hour leisurely bike ride up and down the Rock Creek Trail. The volume of people on the trail and in the parks along the trail was astonishing even to me. I got to Dewey Local Park about 4:30 in the afternoon, where the Parks Department recently completed a quite spectacular park refresher. in 2020. If you haven't been there, you need to be. That park refresher included a new playground and picnic shelter, exercise stations, a dog park, spectacular artwork on the infrastructure there, a kids cycle track, an upgraded soccer field, and a partnership with the Washington Capitals to install an inline skating rink. Over a 15-minute period, just standing there observing the park, I counted 110 people. That's not an exaggeration. I have video and photographic evidence if that sounds like an exaggeration. 110 people in one community park. Now, given it was an 80-degree day in January, but each of the upgraded facilities I noted was crawling with people. The parking lots were full and families were pouring in after work on a warm Friday afternoon. So the refresher at Dewey Local Park was clearly a success in creating a community hub, just like the refresher several of you celebrated at Hillendale Local Park in the fall. Investment in our parks provides tangible, big bang for the buck results towards meeting your racial equity and social justice goals, and fosters physical activity, social interaction, and environmental stewardship, which builds strong communities. You and past councils have consistently placed a higher priority on investment in our parks than the county executive typically recommends, and I'm here to ask you to do it again. And with that, I thank you for your past support of the parks, which is why we have such a great and treasured system serving Montgomery County today. And that's 4 seconds left. Thank you very much.
For the final time, coming in under budget. Okay. Casey Anderson.
It's hard to improve on Citizen Mike. I've never seen him so relaxed.
Yeah, exactly.
And that works out. That suits you well, Mike. I'm here in my capacity as a civilian and as president of Mid-Atlantic Off-Road Enthusiast, which is the mountain bike club representing 2,000 paid members in the DMV, including several thousand other supporters who are on our email list and otherwise are involved in our activities and programs, including, I think, close to 1,000 in Montgomery County. It's not a coincidence that many of our members in Montgomery County, because we do have an excellent trail system, but I'm here to explain why we need some more money for trails, natural surface trails in particular. We do support the full parks budget, including Wheaton Regional Park and the Adventure Park. I see a couple fans here behind the dais. But natural surface trails are popular. They're consistently 2 of the 3 most in-demand park amenities that are requested on user surveys that the Parks Department administers every few years. They are cheap. For a mid-6-figure investment, you can get more park trails, better park trails everywhere in the county. Most of the requests that you received, however compelling they might be, are 7-8-figure numbers to build a single facility. For a very modest amount of money, you can extend the trail network everywhere in the county. And while the Park and Planning Commission supported over the years more extension of natural surface trails, and the state park system has expanded the trail network in Montgomery County, we still are really just getting started in the East County. The Upper Paint Branch in particular is really just a very rudimentary skeletal system, doesn't reach a lot of neighborhoods. A lot of potential there to serve more people and more neighborhoods. The Northwest Branch, I think one of the Mr. Newton or Mr. Punga, I think, had mentioned that earlier in the earlier panel. Cabin John, as Mr. Friedson knows, we've added trails there, but there's potential to not just add mileage, but improve and take some of the segments of trails out of the floodplain that's inundated and constantly overgrown with weeds and with mosquitoes and all those sort of things that really make that a less than pleasant experience. And the other thing about trails, I know, is not only are they popular and they're cheap, but they serve a lot of different purposes. The PROS plan that the Parks Department has developed recognizes that they not only provide an opportunity for physical activity and really serve to pull people off the couch, not just to make opportunities available, but really compel people because they're convenient. When they reach your neighborhood, you don't have to get in the car and drive a long way. You don't need any special equipment. If you want to get on a bike or a horse, if that's your thing, you can do it. But even to take a quick hike, and if we can extend those trails to all those additional neighborhoods, that's really compelling. And the last thing I'll mention that trails do is provide social connection. One of the reasons I'm involved with more is because it's a great way to connect with other people, make friends, and do that while you're doing something that's healthy and connect with nature. So I hope you'll plus up the Natural Surface Trail budget and give the parks back all that money that the Mean County executive is trying to take away.
Thank you, and thanks to both of you for all you've done over the years to support the Trail Network in particular. Really appreciate it. Next speaker, Michael Larkin.
Good evening, council members. Thank you for your time tonight. My name is Mike Larkin. I'm a resident of Silver Spring. This CIP budget is an opportunity to build a county with more transit-friendly development, more affordable housing, safer pedestrian and biking infrastructure, and ensure we are taking our commitments to being environmentally sustainable seriously. The $82 million that's been allocated to the Housing Initiative Fund and the $15 million for the Nonprofit Preservation Fund is an important investment, and hopefully the first of many more investments into meeting the scale of our commitments that we need to preserve affordable housing. It should be the benchmark for the future because it will welcome more residents who want to live and work in our county. However, I'm sad to say the $24 million reduction in the parks request for funding is not welcoming for all, and will put residents at risk of not having well-maintained pedestrian and biking trails, especially in a place like Wheaton Regional Park, which I must note is one of the few parks that's fully transit accessible, which makes it open to all people from all walks of life. Speaking of transit, as a US 29 rider, I'm elated about the possibility for authentic bus rapid transit, but I must emphasize BRT must have dedicated lanes, and it must be on all routes. Drivers need dedicated lanes, so they're encouraged to shift to public transportation. More importantly, people who cannot afford a car should no longer have to sit in traffic or wait even longer for buses that are stuck in traffic. World-class BRT service has to be built to the highest standards. And I must say, after a lot of consideration, if we really can't make the commitment to dedicated lanes, then the time will come when we have to consider putting our public transportation dollars into other projects that could be committed to. I must also speak about the necessity for appropriate pedestrian and biking infrastructure at these BRT stations. These BRT stations, especially on US 29, where you're going to have a future campus at Montgomery College, you have shopping centers, you have Manna Food Center, this is conducive to walking and biking. And people should not have to risk life and limb to get to BRT stops. I know I have participated in pedestrian audits and biking audits, and I know members of this council have participated in many of these audits. We all know members of our community are suffering and risking their lives literally to get to stops. The BRT must be built with the appropriate infrastructure so people can walk and bike to it, because that's how people get to bus stops. And US 29 is an equity focus area, so we all know that people who are the most vulnerable in our community are suffering the worst risk. This budget is an opportunity to build a more humane county if we're willing to prioritize the right projects. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker, Roger Massey.
Thank you. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Council members. My name is Roger Massey. This is the first time testifying publicly before the council, so thank you. I've been a Montgomery County resident since 1984. I'm a cyclist that's been riding my bicycle less and less on county roads and more on county trails as the county has become more congested and less safe for recreation on those public roads. As a Moore member, I am the direct beneficiary of the incredible work to maintain our world-class collection of stream, valley, and park system trails that have been done over the years. And mountain biking is a way for me to experience the beauty of our amazing park system, oftentimes without having to get in my car. The enjoyment of cycling allows my friends and I to experience nature and take in the beauty of being outdoors while unwinding from the stresses of work and life. While Moore has probably had the best year of maintaining our trails in 2023, modern trail building of new trails requires special machines, operation, and skilled operators to run those machines. and therefore requires additional budget. I ask you to reinstate and fully fund the park budget, and in particular the Trails program, so that we can continue to expand and maintain our trail systems in Montgomery County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next panel that I'm going to call up is Cora Cusack, Peter Muffles, Keon Hahn, and Chris Muffles. And before they begin, let me turn to the clerk for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the record, Councilmember Albornoz is in attendance virtually. He's listening via the Zoom meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome. We are very excited to have you here today. And I will turn it to you. You can go in the order that you're most comfortable. We called Cora Cusack. Does that work? So we'll go with Cora first. Go ahead.
Hi, hello. I'm Cora Cusack, a 13-year-old student at Silver Creek Middle School. I've lived in Montgomery County my whole entire life. I'm also a cyclist on Rock Creek Bella, a youth cycling team that was founded in 2011 and currently has 55 riders from ages 8 through 18. My older brother and sister are both cyclists, so I tried it and was hooked immediately after they took me on the Cabin John local park trails. I love cycling so much because it gets me in nature, it gets me active, and I've made so many friends from the sport. But most importantly, it gets me off my screens. Did you know that kids ranging from ages 11 to 19 years old spend an average of 9 hours a day on their screens? That is just a jaw-dropping amount. My brother is currently participating in a study that tracks the correlation between time and nature to positive mental health. My generation is in the midst of a mental health crisis, and studies show it is linked to our screen time. Montgomery County can battle that by building trails in the beautiful nature that we already have, making it easier to be active and get outside and get off your screens. To be able to spend time outside surrounded by trees and nature, it also needs to be accessible. Montgomery County is close to a great city, and it also has amazing outdoor natural resources such as Rock Creek, Cabin John, and Schaefer Farm. These trails need to be accessible to kids in the DMV in order to get them outside in nature and off their screens. Finally, we all know that soccer and lacrosse are very popular sports in the DMV. But they aren't for everyone. In my school of 800 kids, there is only one other student that does competitive cycling. We also know that riding a bike on our roads in our area is not the safest thing. One of the things that prevents kids from becoming cyclists is the lack of wooded bike trails. Where they can be outside safe. I really believe that if there were more wooded bike trails in the DMV, we could get more kids on bikes, more kids outside, and more kids off their screens. So my peers and I ask you to please allocate money to build local bike trails, specifically at North Chevy Chase Local Park.
Great, thank you. Next speaker, Peter Muffles.
Good evening. My name is Peter Muffles. I am 11 years old and I go to Silver Creek Middle School. I tried other sports like soccer. I was on council member Gabe's team when I was younger. He was my coach, and you may remember I spent more time chasing butterflies than the ball. I also tried basketball, swimming, and other sports. They are okay. Then I raced my bike for the first time with Rock Creek Bell, and something clicked inside of me. It did well, and it gave me a lot of confidence. It was fun, and I was good at it. When I'm at school, I don't get picked to play basketball by the other kids, but I don't care because I know I have my bike racing on the weekend. I wish I could ride my bike at recess and in gym. I race road, mountain bike, gravel, and cyclocross. I practice 4 or 5 days a week all year with my team. We practice on the fields and trails at North Chevy Chase Park, and I am here because those trails are very important to me and my teammates. North Chevy Chase Park is great because it's close to my home. I can bike there after school and practice on my own. If I can't use the trails there, I have nowhere to go unless my parents drive me. Thank you, and I invite you all to come watch us practice or race this fall.
Thank you so much. Great job. Our next speaker, Kian.
Good evening. My name is Kian Han. I'm in 6th grade and have been a member of Rock Creek Velo since 4th grade. Last year, I placed 10th at USA Cycling Mountain Bike Nationals and placed 3rd at USA Cycling Road Crit. Rock Creek Velo helped me train and get faster. We train on the trails at Kevin John Park and North Chevy Chase Local Park. I support more funding for outdoor parks. It allows Rock Creek Velo to have a place for many kids to come train and ride bikes. My teammate Peter got 5th at the USA Cycling Cyclocross Nationals. My other teammate Dahlia also got 3rd at the Cyclocross Nationals. That is all.
Thank you. Great job. Let me turn it to Dad, to Chris Muffles.
Coach Muffles.
Coach Muffles.
Good evening, Council.
Many titles, I assume.
Yeah. That's right. Good evening, Council. My name is Chris Muffles, and I'm a coach with Rock Creek Velo, one of the largest junior bike racing teams in the nation. We currently have 55 active riders aged 8 through 18. We coach athletes of all ability levels and are proud to have produced multiple national champions and riders that have gone on to compete in college and professionally. RCV is a volunteer nonprofit organization committed to providing junior riders the opportunity to learn the sport of bicycle racing while creating a safe atmosphere to develop confidence, camaraderie, teamwork, and sportsmanship. We are here today in support of increased natural surface trail funding because we need your immediate help. We have practiced a form of bike racing called cyclocross on the fields and natural surface trails at North Chevy Chase Local Park since 2011. Cyclocross racing consists of laps around a 2-mile course featuring dirt, grass, sand, mud, steep hills, turns, and obstacles, requiring riders to quickly get off their bike, carry it over the obstacle, and hop back on. You'll have some pictures in that handout there. The kids absolutely love it, and as a parent, there's nothing more fun than watching your kid covered in mud lift a bike as big as they are over a plank deliberately put in their way to trip them up. There is also nothing more inspiring. North Chevy Chase Local Park is the only park in the county with the features and characteristics to support cyclocross training near where our members live, work, and go to school. RCV could not exist without the support we have enjoyed from the county for many years. We have secured close to 1,000 permits to practice there since our inception. Every year we organize trail maintenance days during which RCV parents and junior riders clear the trails and prep them for our cyclocross season. We have donated about 1,000 volunteer hours to keeping the trails viable for practice and general community enjoyment. We use the trail for practices a few afternoons each week from August through November. Other local teams train there as well. The park's layout is well suited to cyclocross training. It is compact, allowing visibility for our coaches and chaperones to oversee skills stations on the trails from our central practice area on the field. This layout allows us to maximize the number of kids we train, and we are grateful for the thousands of practice hours we have conducted safely over the last 12 years. Unfortunately, we have recently been made aware through MORE, a Montgomery County-based trail advocacy group we heard from earlier, that our use of these trails is at risk and that it might take 2 years to resolve the issue, during which time we cannot use them. We've been very grateful for the support from MORE in understanding these issues, and currently we are reaching out directly to the Parks Department to better understand what their concerns are. Without these trails, RCV's ability to operate as a team is in jeopardy. As such, we are here tonight in support of increased natural surface trail funding, and I ask you, on behalf of Cora, Peter, Kian, and their teammates, to encourage the Parks Department to prioritize the continued uninterrupted use of North Chevy Chase local park trails for cyclocross training and to work with us to improve this facilities currently in place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The former director of the entire Parks Department and his old boss were on the last panel, and we're not allowed to have favorites, but don't tell anyone. This is my favorite panel. So we're going to call up our next panel. Great job. Our next panel is Danila Shaveco, Sean Punga, Anita Powell, Caden Hahn, and Peyton O'Keefe. When you're ready, Danila Shaveiko, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mr. President, distinguished council members. I just wanted to share a few words about fiduciary oversight of environmental dollars in this county. The energy tax brings in over $180 million, and that disappears into the general fund. Where does all that money go? Any environmental programs? I guess the new energy, climate, and compliance program, but that's like 1% of all that money raised. Where does the other 99% of it go? The same situation is with the water quality protection charge. It raises over $40 million annually. Yet how much of that money actually gets to improve water quality, manage stormwater, and restore impervious surfaces as promised? Not much at all, folks. Right off the bat, over $10 million is taken out for debt service, nearly a quarter of the total revenue. That's right. The highly predictable revenue from the water quality protection charge is used for interest payments to Wall Street. Why do we have to rent our own money? These projects should just be funded out of current revenue water quality. This is why we can't have nice things. Much of the remaining water quality money meant for capital improvement of our water quality infrastructure is used to fund the environmental protection operating budget. I understand some of the rationale, but the fact remains we're using capital funds for operating expenses. And of that money that remains after that, many of the projects don't actually improve water quality. Look for yourself in the budget documents for the rationale, justification, and the conservation of natural resources section. Flood control does not address water quality. Culvert construction and repair does not address water quality. A culvert is just a concrete pipe. How does it improve water quality? I'm not the only one that has these concerns. I see Montgomery County lost access to the state of Maryland water quality revolving loan fund dollars precisely because our projects do not meet the criteria. Do you think that the few pennies left are actually used to restore impervious surface and improve water quality? Well, we've spent the first MS4 permit cycle millions of dollars dredging ponds, and now we're doing these stream restorations that do nothing to address stormwater pollution at the source and do nothing for water quality or biological integrity. There's just no evidence for that. And so we're left with a tiny little portion of the money that was supposed to be spent for the purpose of improving water quality. And this is not just irresponsible, it leaves the county open to litigation, both by fiscal conservatives on the right and environmental activists on the left. And more importantly, we used to hear scary stories about climate change and ecosystem collapse, but now we're living them. Last year, none of us could escape the smoke from the wildfires, and the Potomac River flows
to ask you to wrap up.
Down 80% for the year, and so we're in trouble and we need to act accordingly. Thank you for the time.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker, Sean Punga.
Good evening, council members. Thank you for your time. My name is Sean Punga. I come to you as a longtime Montgomery County resident. I was born and raised here for the first 10 years of my life and chose to come back to raise a family here. And I've been in the Wheaton area for the past 15 years or so. My ask for this council is to fully fund the CIP program, specifically the sections of Wheaton Park that are due for a long-needed renovation. I grew up going to Wheaton Park along with other parks, and it was the park system in Montgomery County really doesn't, nothing else really compares in the other areas and places I've lived. The access to amenities is amazing. They're everywhere. There's a park near every neighborhood, and the ability of me to raise a family here where we go to a Montgomery County park sometimes weekly. I can walk or ride my bike to the natural surface trails that were recently improved in Wheaton, and it opened up to bikes. That allows you to connect to Northwest Branch, which could allow you to connect to Paint Branch and other areas. These projects need to be funded. It's what makes Montgomery County really stand out from a lot of other areas. And not only does it improve the quality of life, but it has an economic benefit. If we go to a park, we may stop at a restaurant afterwards to have a meal. And local patrons, it is without a doubt it is, sorry, lost my place there. But suffice to say, please fully fund the CIP and continue the wonderful parks that we've had here for years. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, Anita Powell.
Good evening, Council President Friesen and members of the County Council. I am Anita Neal Powell, lifelong Montgomery County resident and the founding president and CEO of the Lincoln Park Historical Foundation and the Leroy E. Neal African American Research Center. But tonight I stand before you as a proud alum of Montgomery College and the second vice president of the Montgomery College Alumni Association Boards of Governors. I'm here to ask for your support of MC's FY25 capital budget. Montgomery County has changed the lives of thousands of Montgomery County residents, including mine. MC helped shape me professionally and helped me grow into the actively engaged Montgomery County resident I am today. Quality facilities are an important part of providing equitable access to the high-quality education all residents need. Every student needs to learn in modern, up-to-date buildings to help them thrive. That's why I ask for you to keep the Theater Arts Building on the Rockville campus on track for renovation, so our county's future actors, stage technicians, directors, and arts teachers for Montgomery County Public Schools have the facility they need to learn and succeed. Tonight, I also want to celebrate the county executive support for the future MC East County campus, and I encourage your continued support of this important addition to our county. I know the value of having an institution of higher education in your own backyard. Easy access to MC helped me right here in Rockville. The residents of East County need and deserve the same access. What a difference this addition will make in the lives of our fellow residents. Please continue to support the campus and the future Germantown Student Services Center to serve the students on that campus. And please support the renovation of the library on the Rockville campus. All students need access to a modern library. I am pleased to thank you for your continuous investment in my alma mater, Montgomery College. Please support MC's capital budget request, which will bring the new MC East County campus to life. Renovate the Theater Arts Building on the Rockville campus. Build a Student Services Center to the Germantown campus, and continue to modernize existing facilities across the three campuses. Your support, Council President Friesen and members of the County Council, ensures that all MC students have access to the education they need to succeed. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Caden Hahn.
Hi, my name is Caden Hahn, and I'm a 10th grader at Whitman High School. One of my favorite activities is mountain biking. I race mountain bikes with Tacoma Park Nike team and also the Rock Creek Velo, where I dabble in some cyclocross too. Next year I'm thinking about starting a mountain biking club at Whitman High School. One of my favorite things to do after school is ride bikes on dirt trails that are part of Montgomery County's park trail system. For example, on the weekends, my family will go to Schaefer Farms where there are many miles of challenging single track. There are also several races and events that happen at Schaefer Farms every year. These are really fun. In addition, I love going to bike jumps at South German Bike Park where I can practice my tricks. The bike park jumps provide a place where young kids like me can spend the day participating in a safe and healthy activity and meet other kids with the same interests. In the fall, my Tacoma Park mountain bike team meets at the Northwest Branch Trail System to train, where there are many miles of challenging hills to ride up and down. For extra credit, training in the fall, I also ride cyclocross with Rock Creek Velo, where practices are held at North Chevy Chase Local Park. And in the springtime, I help coach Rock Creek Velo elementary school age kids how to mountain bike at the Cabin John Trails. The Cabin John Trails are actually the trails where my dad taught me how to mountain bike when I was in elementary school. It is important to maintain lots of parks all throughout the county so trails are easily accessible to families to enjoy the outdoors. and also have a place to practice healthy activities in nature. In Bethesda, Chevy Chase, where I live, I'm surrounded everywhere by high rises and busy streets. It is really nice to have a green space close by, especially for young kids like me who need something to do after school. Every day after school, I ride with many kids in the woods. We build jumps in the woods, and every time I show up, there are new faces who I've never seen before. When I ride with other kids, we're instantly friends. Biking is an activity that extends beyond racial and social economic boundaries. An increased budget for the park system is needed not only to sustain the current trail network, but also to build more trails and more bike jumps where they are needed in the county, especially more bike jumps. The last thing we need to do is cut the parks budget. In closing, I support the Parks Department increased budget and urge you to reject the county executive's proposed cuts. All forms of cycling provide a healthy activity for young people, give access to nature, and are an activity around which we form our community and make social connections. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here. We are going to move on to our last one on this panel, Peyton O'Keefe.
Thank you. Good evening, Council President Friedson, Council Vice President Stewart, and members of the Montgomery County Council. I'm honored to speak to you tonight. This is my first time here, so it's pretty cool. My name is Peyton O'Keefe, and I'm a Montgomery College student pursuing a performing arts degree. I grew up here in Montgomery County working on my family's orchard, O'Keefe's Apple Orchard in Cloverly, Maryland, where I still live. I came here this evening to thank you for supporting Montgomery College, and on behalf of the performing arts students, I ask you please support MC's capital budget and renovations of the theater arts buildings. I've been involved in theater since I was a kid. In high school, my dream became clear. I want to become a professional musical theater performer. I knew I needed to pursue a college education, but the cost of a degree was overwhelming. Then I discovered Montgomery College's amazing performing arts program and MC's affordable tuition. I'm on track to graduate in May with no debt, which is a plus, and I plan to move right into the musical theater professionally, pursuing my dream right here in the DMV's theater industry. MC's performing art program launches careers. I needed some growth before stepping into the professional world, and MC has prepared me with its terrific faculty. They have created a program that is welcoming and supportive. We all want to see each other succeed. In a cutthroat world of theater, MC's performing arts program is a family. It is one of the only institutions where everyone from techs to actors all work together towards the same goal, a good production. It's not about where you came from, it's about everyone trying to reach their dreams. The renovations of the theater arts building will make this program that has a lot of potential to grow and be even better. The building does need some improvements. The black box, which is a space for movement classes and could be used for small performances, is little and limits how many people can take classes there. A bigger black box or a second black box would make a huge difference as we are limited on performance spaces. With more options of performance spaces, we could bring more people from the community to the campus to see our shows and to see the terrific work that students are doing there. Additionally, the lighting is out of date in the arena theater as well as the black box. Also, it would be helpful to have more spaces where small groups of students can study together and learn from each other. I hope that you please support the renovation of the theater arts building to help more residents like me succeed, earn their degree, and see their dreams come true. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Pretty cool indeed, and appreciate you being here. Appreciate this panel. We're going to call up our next panel, Hetty Valentine, Carolyn Lapilla, Tina Juan Sherman, Leander Uvari, and Janet Remsnyder. When you're ready, Hetty Valentine, you have 3 minutes.
Hello, Council President Friedson and members of the City Council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. My name is Hetty Valentine Hosford. I am a lifelong resident of Montgomery County and a Montgomery College student on the Rockville campus. Thank you all for all of the support you provide for MC. I'm here tonight to ask you to please continue by supporting MC's capital budget request, especially the renovation of the theater arts building on the Rockville campus, the place that changed my life. I'm happy to make this request because Montgomery College turned my life around. My journey to becoming a proud MC performing arts major has been challenging. 3 years ago, I dropped out of Poolsville High School in my junior year. I had extreme mental health issues that left me unable to go to school, unable to do theater, and most importantly, almost unable to continue living. This period of my life was extremely painful. I had lost faith in myself. I was no longer able to take the steps I needed for the future I wanted. To have a degree and to become an actor. Acting had been a part of my life since I was a child. I was good at it, and it filled me with the magic that comes with believing you can do everything. That magic died when I realized that I couldn't do anything at all. As all my friends went to college, I felt lost and directionless until I found my way to Montgomery College. My growth at MC has been exponential, thanks to the performing arts program. With the support of professors and academic coaching, my confidence has been replenished. To my surprise, I have found success. My introduction to MC was the day I walked into the Theater Arts Building to audition for the Summer Dinner Theater musical. As a student now, I spend most of my days in theater arts learning to act, rehearse, and prepare costumes and props along with many other critical components of a performing arts degree. MC has helped me give my life and my education another shot, and now I know with more confidence than I've ever had that I'm going to pursue my dream to become an actor. I'm going to have a rich and purposeful life. This is why I'm here to ask you to support the renovation of the Theater Arts Building, where I spend so much of my time as a student. The building does need some attention to support the amazing faculty as they work with students like me. It would be so helpful to have more spaces for small groups of students to study and rehearse. A new stage would make it easier for students to offer successful performances, and another black box would give us so many more opportunities for learning and performing so students can better discover their abilities and passions, which I believe every student deserves to do. Because of MC, I can pursue my future career as an actor by earning a performing arts degree. The faculty and staff have been essential to my success, and with the renovation of the Theater Arts Building to be more functional to support our studies, students like me will be able to reach their dreams and launch successful careers. Please help our Theater Arts Building, because I don't know where I would be without it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing your story. We're glad you found MC and MC found you. Our next speaker, Carolyn Lapilla.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to testify. I'm Carolyn Lapilla and live in downtown Silver Spring. I want to start by expressing my deep disappointment in the county executive's budget recommends a reduction of $24.2 million to Montgomery Park's requested budget. These cuts would be devastating to the county, and I implore the council to fully fund Montgomery Park's requested budget. Montgomery Parks is nationally recognized, and our parks offer a wide range of trails and recreational activities and are often celebrated as one of Montgomery County's best assets. I know the parks are near and dear to many of you who post about groundbreakings, ribbon cuttings, and your leisure visits. We can't deny the importance of parks for physical, mental, and emotional health, and that became even more evident during the pandemic. I am grateful to have parks that I can access by foot and transit. It's critical that Montgomery Parks can continue to maintain and enhance parks. Some of the planned projects will be cut or delayed if the budget is not fully funded, including the Wheaton Regional Park Master Plan Improvement, the Long Branch Trail Extension, improvements in Rock Creek Park, the Matthew Henson Trail, Community Connector, and many more. Many of these projects are in county's equity-focused areas. Residents and visitors throughout the county need and deserve safe, accessible, and activated parks. These are health, equity, and environmental issues. I also implore you to ensure that the transit and street sidewalk safety issues are appropriately funded. I was pleased to see that the county executive's budget funds the continued development of the BRT and hope that the council moves forward to that, although with dedicated lanes. So many people rely on transit, and we want more people to opt for transit, which will help with our county climate goals. We must also ensure that the Route 29 and other corridors will offer safe walking and biking to get to buses and community amenities. Please ensure that the budget will help us meet the critical pedestrian master plan, Safe Streets Act, and Vision Zero goals. I was also pleased to see that the proposed funding for affordable housing through appropriations to the Housing Initiative Fund and the Nonprofit Preservation Fund. We all know that this county is in an affordable housing crisis, and it's essential that affordable housing initiatives are a priority so more people can live here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker, Tina Wan-Sherman.
President Friedson, Vice President Stewart, members of the County Council, thank you for the opportunity to speak before you tonight. My name is Tina Wan-Sherman. I'm a 20-year resident of Montgomery County. My husband, 2 daughters, and I have spent countless hours on sports fields and in sports facilities around the county, including tennis bubbles in Wheaton, Cabin John Parks, swimming pools in Silver Spring and Rockville, ball fields from Clarksburg to Potomac, and many basketball courts at MCPS elementary, middle, and high schools. My brief comments this evening are as a mother of 2 young athletes and as the vice chair of the county's new Sports Advisory Committee. The committee is comprised of 17 members and 9 ex officio members and represents a diverse group of practitioners and other knowledgeable individuals in the community, all of whom are committed to improving access and equity in sports to county residents, regardless of their location, socioeconomic status, or demographic. The committee was officially formed last spring and has met monthly with guest speakers, including Councilmember Albornoz, who championed the legislation that created the committee. We are grateful for all those who have contributed to our efforts to date, including Montgomery County Recreation staff, from who we have received tremendous support. Regarding the fiscal year 2025 capital budget and capital improvements program, I recognize that the proposed $5.8 billion goes well beyond athletics and recreation and is a result of difficult trade-offs. At the same time, I strongly believe that all residents of Montgomery County should have affordable and equitable access to the highest quality fields and facilities. This could be achieved in part by allocating adequate funding to maintain and equip recreation centers, identifying opportunities for new fields and facilities, and ensuring that programs and amenities match the needs of the communities they serve. In closing, my fellow members on the Sports Advisory Committee and I welcome continued engagement with the Council moving forward as we develop an athlete recognition process and recommendations to address the equitable availability of and access to fields and facilities across the county. We also look forward to seeing you at the opening of the Silver Spring Recreation and Aquatic Center later this month. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Our next speaker is Leander Uvari.
Good evening. My name is Leander Uvari, and I, along with Amy Ibakachi, are Damascus PTSA Cluster Coordinators. I am here today to ask for County Council's continued support for keeping the Damascus High School major capital project on schedule. This continues to be the most critical need in our cluster. Damascus High School was built in 1950 and was last renovated over 40 years ago in 1978. It is now the oldest upper-level building in the MCPS school system. Damascus is a small town, and Damascus High School represents much more than physical classroom space. It is the center of our community, providing community gathering space as well as educational opportunities. Additionally, this major capital project will provide much-needed relief to the overcrowding at Clarksburg High School and the Clarksburg cluster as a whole. Our community recently received information indicating that the design plans for renovations at Damascus High School do not incorporate provisions for our current auto tech program. This news has deeply disheartened the majority of the community members who are eager to preserve the program and ensure its availability for students. The lack of transparency in this matter has been very upsetting, and we are very hopeful to collaborate with MCPS to reintegrate the auto tech program into the renovation plans. We strongly encourage County Council to maintain their support for the essential funding required for our long overdue renovation, including allocating funds to renovate space for the existing auto tech program. We appreciate your ongoing support for our community, acknowledging the crucial importance of the Damascus High School renovation project for the up-county residents of Montgomery County. Students, staff, and members of the extended Damascus High School community deserve a 20% learning environment that is safe, supports student achievement, and builds our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker, Janet Remsnyder.
Good evening, County Council. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to speak. This evening, I'm sitting before you as someone who was born and raised in Montgomery County. I am a PTA treasurer, a Damascus Sports Association board member, a Clarksburg resident, and also the parent of several future Damascus Hornets. It is a community that I am proud to be invested in, and I'd like to invite you into my experience and what makes this town and this school so special. Damascus is a community I once barely knew and only judged from the outside. Life has led me down a lot of different paths, and it has become a place I dearly love and defines such a large part of our family of 6. My husband as a coach for 2 Damascus softball teams. My oldest daughters are proud Yellow Jackets representing the DSA travel softball program. My youngest daughter, a tiny Cougar cheerleader, and our 4-year-old boy has dreams of swinging for the fences and hiking a football under the Friday night lights at DHS. I want to ask each of you to approve the increased renovation budget for Damascus High School and keep the project on schedule with a start date this year. This is a project our school desperately needs, our children deserve, our community wants, that has been delayed before, and we are asking you desperately, please do not delay it again. We are here because we love our town and our school, and won't allow it to be pushed back because this small little town up county is out of sight and out of mind. We are proud to be home to countless public servants, from the county police chiefs and officers, EMTs, and MCPS teachers who drive to newer schools than what their own children experience on a daily basis up county. We've put miles on our cars driving to state championship games all over Maryland to cheer on our Hornets. We've brought home victories in football, wrestling, track, cross country, POMs, cheerleading, soccer, and proudly softball. Our kids did this not in a state-of-the-art facility, but in a building that was built in 1950 and hasn't been updated in 46 years, making it the oldest Montgomery County high school without a renovation. We have been ignored. It is now an outdated maze of hallways that lack a cohesive direction. The once brand new walls and ceilings are now crumbling. Pipes are leaking into classrooms. And instead of being home only to the Hornet, it is now occupied with cockroaches and rats. But we haven't complained. We've pressed on because the core of what our town and what our people are about has been fulfilled. Our children's success inside and outside of the classroom. Our wins on the fields of play haven't been just for those teams, but they have inspired the generation to follow. And what does every generation want? Even us, the people who stand before you today and those who listen, to leave it for the next better than they found it. We are asking you to help us do this. I could have talked classroom ideas, design preferences, and hopes for our future media center, but none of that matters if you don't say yes to this project and to this town that we love so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're going to call up our next panel: Benjamin Lewis, Tim Goodfellow, Kyle Lee, Huat Belay, and Emma Yuan. I'll note that Joseph Hooks submitted testimony by video. Benjamin Lewis, when you're ready, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Benjamin Lewis, Ben Lewis, with Burtonsville Elementary School PTA, where I serve as the president. I'm the proud father of 2 Burtonsville Elementary School kids that are back there. On behalf of our school and the community, we'd like to thank MCPS for all their efforts to date on the design and planning of the new Burtonsville Elementary School at the Northeast Consortium Elementary School number 17 site. Specifically, I'd like to publicly thank Alicia, DJ, Shiho, and Seth with MCPS Department of Facilities Management on their work in collaboration with our school and our community. Our ask this evening is very simple. We request that the county council fund the project's construction cost. The Board of Education requested appropriation for construction cost increases and the 1-year acceleration for the completion date of the project to August of 2026. The school was approved for a building addition over 10 years ago. This project, despite having completed feasibility study, a named architect, consultations with our administration and our staff, failed to break ground. The school addition and renovation continue to be included, then removed, then included back, and then removed again from the CIP for several years after. We're asking, please, don't do this to us again. While the school anxiously awaits a new building, the present-day challenges still exist. The cafeteria can only fit one grade level at a time, resulting in 6 lunch periods from 10:40 to 2:10. The lunch line extends past the hallways into the kindergarten area and disrupts their learning. It also causes staffing issues. The paraeducators have to work lunch duty as opposed to being in the classroom where they can be of better use. Safety concerns still are there and present at the school around arrival and dismissal of traffic, requiring cars and buses to drive on the opposite side of the road to navigate queued cars. We understand that the superintendent provided non-recommended reductions to the CIP, and we understand that process. However, we ask that the council fund this critical community project. The building of a new school, along with repurposing of the existing school to a new, innovative, flexible education and recreation campus, and also the Burtonsville Access Road and the Maryland 198 Burtonsville Improvement Project are critical to our Burtonsville community. The construction of a new Burtonsville school will energize the community and spur economic development and help mend eroded trust in the community. We've been engaged in this process for a while. We're asking, please, let's get over the finish line. We hope to see you all at the groundbreaking in the not too distant future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and hello to all of your companions here who have joined you to give you backup. Our next speaker, Tim Goodfellow.
Good evening, council members. My name is Tim Goodfellow. I'm also a member of the TAME Coalition, and TAME represents Transit Alternatives to the Mid-County Highway Extended. So tonight you've heard many people lobby you to add a project or encourage the council to restore funding or ask for increased resource commitments to some project for the county and its residents. But I'm here tonight to support the exclusion and the non-appearance of a particular item in the CIP, and that's the Mid-County Highway Extended Project, or also known as the M83 Highway. The proposed M83 Highway is a 5-mile, $1 billion project that is environmentally destructive, community harming, and obsolete. M83 is a proposal that should never be in the CIP and never have funds allocated for planning, design, or construction. It's a fact that the only way to ensure that the M83 highway proposal never makes it to the CIP stage is to remove it from all master plans in the county. Alternatives to the M83 highway do exist to address the needs for enhanced mobility and additional transportation infrastructure capacity in our county. One of these alternatives is in the recommended CIP, and that's the county's bus rapid transit system on Maryland Route 355 to Clarksburg. I ask you to approve funding in the CIP for bus rapid transit on 355 and all other areas in the county, which is a sound, progressive, and climate-aligned approach to transportation in the 21st century. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker, Kyle Lee.
Good evening. Good evening, County Council. I'll keep this brief, but my name is Kyle Lee, and I'm a sophomore at Woodland High School, and I've lived in Montgomery County my whole life. I'm here to represent my experience as a Woodland High School student in relation to the current state of the school building. Woodland has never undergone any major renovations, and after over 50 years, it has begun to seriously deteriorate. Firstly, the air conditioning system is broken. Some rooms are extremely hot, while others are extremely cold. This makes it incredibly hard for students to correctly prepare the appropriate clothing to maximize their learning experience. Additionally, the general state of the building has been slowly worn down from years of use. From ripped out sinks, holes in the ceiling, exposed piping, and broken bathroom locks, Woodland is in evident need of renovation. It is my firm belief that the most important purpose of a school building is to foster an ideal learning environment for its students, and as it stands now, the Wooten building provides no such benefits. The plethora of problems stemming from the building distract students from being able to fully focus on school. I'm not even able to use the bathroom comfortably due to the many broken toilet seats and stall locks. I'm sure many other students can also testify to many more issues with the building, and please, I ask that you support funding for major renovations for the Wooten High School building. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and welcome to your compatriots here. Next speaker is Huapale here. Okay, Emma Yuan.
Good evening, County Council and Council President Friedson. My name is Emma Yuan, and I'm a junior at Thomas S. Wooten High School. This is my second time testifying at County Council, so thank you all to listening to me. Today, I, as well as many other Wooten community members, are here to advocate for the necessary funding of our school building infrastructure in the capital improvement project budget. Today, I'm going to zone in on two specific learning programs at our school that are directly affected by the state of our building and equipment. While Wooten's computer program enjoys recognition throughout the county, our TV studio program is unfortunately often overlooked. One of the major causes of this is that the program is underfunded. The cameras and equipment are analog, and they usually have a resolution of about 6 to 20 times less than digital equipment. The TV studio program that was once thriving now only has one class of 6 students, but we cannot blame the students for this, because students who may be interested in television production just don't see any value nor appeal in learning to use outdated technology in a cramped and barren TV studio. Learning with antiquated equipment puts these students at a major disadvantage with their peers and even coworkers with access to up-to-date technology. This is not equitable. Another underfunded program that I know a lot of testifiers here today were fans of is our theater program. A combination of issues forces our theater teacher to think about replacing old materials and old equipment when this shouldn't really be his biggest concern. This takes time away from him as he begins to prepare for the next play or lesson. For example, there's a saw sitting in the back of our theater meant for creating theater props that can't even be used due to the lack of the electricity in our auditorium. Also, the inaccessibility of our auditorium excludes groups of students. Neither the booth nor the pit can be reached for students on wheelchairs. So how can students with disabilities learn if they cannot even be there firsthand? Several other programs are often faced with challenging issues in our building as well, and I can be here for a long time trying to state all the issues our building brings, especially in light of the recent safety emergencies and continual hygiene issues. But I hope that I have given you guys a glimpse of how deeply our infrastructure shortcomings here at Wooten affect us as students, but also Wooten faculty and staff, as well as future students if this is not addressed. We appreciate people sent to see Wooten after our continued efforts advocating and testifying, but we want change. Today, I urge you to allocate funding in the capital improvement project budget to renovate and improve Wooten High School. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much, Emma and Kyle, and all of your colleagues and classmates and friends. Appreciate you joining us as well. We're going to call up our next panel. Nasra Black, Junhua Liu, Ashley Stanislaus, Justin Tom, and Mayra Vasquez. Nasira Black? Is Nasira Black here? No? Junhua Liu?
Good evening, council members. My name is Junhua Liu. I'm a proud mother of 3 children. I have been a Montgomery County resident for almost 20 years, but today I sit here before you as a representative of the Wooten cluster, serving as one of its cluster coordinators. We are here to emphasize the critical capital improvement needs for our schools and to urgently appeal for the fund and the acceleration of projects at Wooten Cluster. We implore you to commit to these projects without further delays. As many of the students has testified just now, our project has delayed a long time. Before delving into the specifics, I would like to ask how many council members have visited Thomas S. Wooten High School in the past 5 years? If you have been there, raise your hand. Thank you. For those of you who have not been there, we extend an invitation to experience a school day firsthand, understanding the challenges our students and teachers face. For those of you already been there, I'm sure you already experienced and get that knowledge. Wooten High School, over 50 years old, is one of the only 2 high schools in the county that has never undergone major capital improvement. The issues range from a non-functioning HVAC system and unsafe air ventilation to leaking pipes and roofs, antiquated wiring, inadequate safety equipment in science classrooms. Our students and staff navigate through broken facilities, including bathrooms that pose serious health hazards. The most concern is the faulty design of our congested and narrow front driveway, posing a daily safety risk. Last year, a student suffered a concussion after being hit by a car in front of the school. We cannot afford to wait for another tragedy before taking action. Despite the Americans with Disabilities Act being made in law over 30 years ago, Wooten High School still does not meet the minimum ADA standard. This lack of compliance affects the timely movement of handicapped students between classes and poses challenges in emergency evacuations. Our students and teachers persevere in their academic pursuits, but these conditions raise significant concerns for both physical and mental well-being. Given the dangerous and unhealthy conditions, we urgently request the acceleration of Wooten CIP timeline and the approval of the designated fund for its renovation. In conclusion, years of prioritizing other projects over the Wooten cluster has led to this current situation. We seek a commitment to full funding for our projects through completion and the accelerated timeline. Smart capital improvements not only address immediate needs, but also permit more efficient and greater utilization of our schools. This is a cost-effective approach, addressing these issues now rather than allowing them to escalate.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your testimony.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, Ashley Stanislaus.
Good evening, County Council and Council President Friedson. My name is Ashley Stanislaus, and I am a junior and the SJ Secretary at Thomas S. Wooten High School. I have testified multiple times about Wooten's infrastructure and its hazard conditions. I am here, and I will continue to show up and advocate for these urgent needs to be filled. Education is a human right that everyone should be able to enjoy. In the United States, it's a state and local responsibility. The fact of the matter is that Wooten is not ADA compliant. When the American with Disabilities Act, ADA, was signed into law, it established the civil right of people with disabilities to live, work, and fully participate in their communities. Public schools are one of America's most prominent public entities, so they must adhere to the basic ADA requirements. Last semester, our school had 2 bomb threats in less than 2 months. During our first bomb threat, the special education department needed to be evacuated before everyone else because the exit path for students is not accessible. During the second evacuation, there was no warning, so they had to be evacuated at the same time as everyone else. The route from their classroom to the field is unsafe and hazardous. In the SCB program, there are currently 7 students who use wheelchairs, with different types of wheels and sizes. While the special education department was trying to evacuate, many wheelchairs got stuck at the exit doors. The tiles on the floor are uneven. The doors are extremely heavy to push open, and the wheelchairs couldn't go over the bump at the floor of the door frame. Despite the urgency of needing to evacuate the building quickly, I joined a group of students and teachers attempting to physically lift the students in their wheelchairs through the doors. This prevented even more students from exiting in a timely manner. As soon as the students got outside, they were met with a steep hill full of cracks and bumps in the pavement. This is an unacceptable risk to both students with disabilities as well as the entire student population in an emergency. In this situation, our students should not have to worry about whether they can escape a bomb due to Wooten's inability to prioritize basic accessible infrastructure. We all deserve a safe egress to escape danger and get to safety. Fortunately, in both of these cases, the school was found to be clear. Had there been a real bomb or any other emergency, these students would have been in danger because they were unable to evacuate quickly and safely. While some ADA compliance modifications are slated for this summer, we need comprehensive care. Wooten's renovation need to be fully funded in order to ensure the school meets basic ADA requirements. This is essential to create an inclusive, safe learning environment for all students. Wooten is not an ADA compliant school, and it needs to be. Please allocate funds in the capital improvement project budget to renovate and improve disability access in Wooten High School. This is not a simple want, but a safety imperative. I really appreciate your time for listening. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome back. Next speaker, Justin Tom.
Good evening, members of the County Council. My name is Justin Tom, and I am a sophomore at Magruder High School. I'm here before all of you to offer insight into the deteriorating facility conditions at Magruder High School and why our potential withdrawal from the capital improvement project is harmful and inequitable. Students define the majority of the integrity of a school, and we instill a significant part of our trust in our school environment. The conditions of our school facility and sufficient maintenance enable students to thrive in healthy academic and physical surroundings. Magruder, having opened in 1970, is in need of the planned major capital improvements without further delay. Our HVAC system is a significant problem. On hot summer days, we enjoy broken AC units and the loud sound of teacher fans put on the highest setting. Some teachers have even bought mini air conditioners in order to have a tolerable classroom environment. Not to mention on humid days, it becomes insufferable to sit because everything is sticky, with the addition of chairs and ceiling tiles becoming moldy. There is literally mold in our ceilings. Take a look. Likewise, when there is an air quality warning, students walk around in disgust, wondering if our school can even filter out and protect us from harmful particles. Magruder's external infrastructure is similarly in need of upgrades. There are either no sidewalks or minimal sidewalks around the parking lot entrances in front of the school. Students cannot walk to home or other locations safely. Additionally, our student parking lot has no drainage, and students and faculty have to tread through big puddles and floods of water on heavy rainy days. Our school lacks sufficient gender-neutral bathrooms. We only have one downstairs, even though page 4 under new construction/renovation of MCPS guidelines for student gender identity 2023 to 2024 explicitly states that MCPS should build one gender-neutral bathroom on each floor. It also states that MCPS should incorporate a gender-neutral changing room, which we do not have. Even our regular bathrooms have issues. Our urinals do not flush, sink knobs do not turn or spray at you, and some toilets are in horrible shape. There are more issues like lights that constantly flicker, heavily damaged floor tiles you can take pieces out of, constant fire alarm repair that interferes with instruction, and how our partly underground music suite's only handicap and injury accessibility is an ancient mini elevator that does not even function and had a mouse nest in it. I could continue talking about our school facilities, but I am on a time limit, and you do not need me to go on more about our disparities to understand why Magruder needs to remain in the CIP as scheduled. Further delaying Magruder in the CIP will lead to even more deteriorating conditions, which our future students should not have to endure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you joining us. Last speaker on this panel, Myra Vasquez. You just need to hit your button. It's the middle button there. Yeah, right there. Perfect.
Good evening, council members and members of the public. I come to you as a parent of 2 children attending Burtonsville Elementary school, and then I have a little one that, if I'm still living in Burtonsville, will be attending as well. I come to basically convince you of the importance of approving the Burtonsville the budget to build a whole new school in fiscal year 2026. If sooner, the better. So I wanted to talk to you about the importance of a new school. As the other fellow parent discussed a little bit earlier, we have a lot of issues at the current school, basically with the bus loop. It's a tragedy waiting to happen, such as what happened in one of the schools, elementary schools in PG County this past November, where 2 children were involved in a hit and run, and unfortunately they passed away because of unsafe bus loops and drop-offs and all of that. And there are multiple problems at the current building also. My children tell me that there are issues with the pipes. My 5th grade student, he's the one with the yellow shirt in the back, he's a 5th grader, and his classroom is actually located, it's detached from the whole school. And when the Robb Elementary School massacre happened in Texas, I had been a little unsettled about that, just because anybody could just come up and unaware, unbeknown to the school officials, just do a drive-by shooting. That to me, like every time I drop him off, I feel really uncertain. I don't know when will be the last time I'm seeing him, and the other, I'm sure other parents feel like that. So the importance of a new school, more technology. There's a lot of research indicating that when children have access to more technology-equipped schools, they have more opportunities. They take more pride in their school. Their grades improve, test scores. They want to be in school because of the beauty of it. They want to be in school more often, every day. And I've actually wanted to tell you that a lot of people have been turned away from the school, just the look of the school. I remember I had a family member living with us, and when I went to show her the school, the future school that my niece was going to be attending, she said, "But that looks like a horse stable." Basically, it's an old school, like some of the schools that the other members of the public have been discussing, schools that were probably built in 1947 and no renovations have been completed. So that's why this project is really important, so that there's equity being provided to all of the students in Montgomery County and East County particularly. I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, and welcome to your son. Our last 2 speakers in person on my list are Joe Fritsch and Robert Sproles. I don't believe there are anybody else in person who are signed up to testify. When you're ready, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name's Joe Fritsch. I live in Olney, Maryland. Trails and trail connectivity have been growing and thriving throughout Montgomery County. Their popularity have never been better. While there have been great growths in the down county areas, up county areas such as Olney have been falling behind. Thankfully, there are some upcoming CIP projects to help close these gaps. The North Branch Trail and Bowie Mill Bikeway will connect the Olney to the Rock Creek Regional Park, thereby connecting to Rock Creek, Gaithersburg, Aspen Hill, and beyond, as well as to Magruder High School. I agree the connections to Magruder are very bad. The Sandy Spring Bikeway will not only provide recreation and commuting opportunities, but safe, vital routes to schools. Last night, my wife, driving home from work, saw a group of school kids. There's 3 different schools within that area, and they were running along Dr. Bird, shoulderless, no sidewalk. My wife was asking my son whether he was with them. It was actually one of the other schools, but there are 3 schools along that road that need connections, and these trails will help provide. The Natural Surface and Resource-Based Recreation Program along with groups such as MORE, the Mid-Atlantic Off-Road Enthusiasts, provide a well-maintained natural surface trails for all to enjoy and explore. Legacy open space is vital for obtaining more land for preservation and for the growth of the network of trails. Traffic signal modernization is something we are lagging behind on in the county. I keep finding lights that don't change for bicycles, giving cyclists the choice of either waiting for a car to come up or running the light. All of this rolls nicely into the support of Vision Zero. While this has been a priority down county, up county has been left behind, and only there are many intersections that we don't even have crosswalks yet. This is why it is important not to kick the can down the road on these projects. The goal of Vision Zero will be achieved when we have safe roads and trails for cyclists and pedestrians throughout all of the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Last in-person speaker, Robert Sproles.
Thank you for inviting us to speak on this topic that's so important to us in the community. My name is Lydia Cusack, and I just returned from competing with the U.S. national team at the Cyclocross World Championships in Tabor, the Czech Republic. I apologize if I'm a bit jet-lagged. Each of the 28 members of the U.S. national team grew up focused on riding bicycles in order to become world-class cyclists, often missing out on the chance to participate in soccer, basketball, swimming, or other sports that have dedicated facilities. Fortunately, in the U.S., there's a growing recognition of the benefit of riding on trails, a safe and fun alternative to cycling on busy roads. Standards for well-built, sustainable trails are available from organizations such as the International Mountain Bike Association and regional groups such as the Mid-Atlantic Off-Road Enthusiasts. These groups bring together large numbers of volunteers to build and maintain trails at Cabin John, Schaefer Farms, and Seneca Ridge. While these trails are maintained by members of the cycling community, they're available for many users. The proposal that I'm here to support, in smaller scale, but in my opinion equally important, approving a small, well-designed trail system at North Chevy Chase Local Park will improve our outdoor recreation access for park users. It will also increase safety for cyclists, walkers, and others at the park by clarifying expectations for shared use areas. Earlier this year, I was able to visit and train at Lietart Forest in Belgium. Many of the world's top racers can be found there training on the famous dirt trails that have produced many world champions. This space is maintained by local authorities and open to the public with a busy dog park and walking trails throughout. By agreement, clearly explained on signs, some of the paths are reserved for cyclists riding at top speed. It was inspiring to watch the training. It was as if an NBA team practiced at a local schoolyard here. But also inspired me to believe that North Chevy Chase Local Park can be a model for successful integration of my sport with other recognized recreational opportunities. For my USA team, national team teammates and myself, who traveled to the World Championships last week, and the next generation of Rock Creek Velo riders whom I help coach, I'd ask that you approve this proposal. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Lydia. Apologies, I had you listed as virtual. You're in person. Sounds like you were able to fly back just in time to be here in person, which we very much appreciate, and thanks for fighting through the jet lag with us. Before we move on to our virtual, I did want to acknowledge Dr. Jermaine Williams, who was here, heard the powerful testimony of Hetty Valentine and the other Montgomery College folks, and Councilmember Jawanda, I believe, is listening in, so wanted to acknowledge that per our rules. And with that, we're going to move on to those who are here virtually. Ann Tolkien is our first video speaker.
Great. Can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome.
Perfect. Good evening. I'm Annie Tolkien. I am an 8-year resident of the Long Branch neighborhood of Silver Spring. I'm also the mother of an 8-year-old who attends New Hampshire Estates Elementary School in Quebec Terrace. I'm here tonight to talk about the Planning Board and Montgomery Park's budget request, which has direct impacts on my community and other communities across Montgomery County, which have been designated by the state's Department of Natural Resources as green space equity areas, and have also been determined to be overburdened and underserved by the Maryland Department of Environment's Environmental Justice Screening Tool. This means that my community is disproportionately impacted by environmental justice issues, which results in poor air quality and increased heat, and it also means that community members in Long Branch and Quebec Terrace have less access to green space and parks. If the county executive's proposed budget is passed, this could greatly reduce or cut the funding for projects that are meant to address historic and persistent inequity in several underserved communities, including, but not limited to, funding for the Long Branch Parks Initiative, which is an equity priority aimed at finally bringing resources to create vibrant, safe, and accessible park spaces to Long Branch, the Wheaton Regional Park Master Plan, where cutting funds would disproportionately impact the area directly east of Wheaton Regional Park, which according to the state's DNR equity map and MDE's environmental justice map is designated as the lowest equity score, renovations to the Lintonsville Civic Green. Large sections of Lintonsville and neighboring Rosemary Hills are also identified as having low equity scores. Those are only a few of the projects that would face cuts, and they are in areas with the greatest need. Additionally, with climate change bearing down on us and transit equity on my mind, cutting funding to projects to enhance bike trails and promote Vision Zero and pedestrian safety and accessibility, specifically in areas with the Purple Line within the Purple Line Walkshed in Long Branch and in other areas of the county, seems ill-advised. Park spaces serve as a space to encourage physical activity and social connections through the lifespan across communities and abilities. Professionally, I work on disability and accessibility related issues, and I would be remiss if I did not mention that some of the funds that are on the chopping block are meant to bring park spaces into ADA compliance and universally designed spaces to make them usable for all community members. It is for the aforementioned reasons that I encourage the council to support the full parks budget request. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker is virtual Jonathan Posner.
Hi, good evening, County Council members. Thank you very much for hearing me this evening. Can you remember the thrill of your first bike ride as a kid? That sense of freedom, the wind in your face, and the whole world opening up in front of you? It's an experience that for so many shapes our connection to nature and lays the groundwork for a lifetime of healthy habits. Yet for kids today, those experiences are fading. I stand before you today urging you to reignite that spark with an investment in our county's parks' natural surface trails. Please fully fund the park's requested trails budget. As a co-director of the Maryland Interscholastic Cycling League, a Maryland sports-based youth development program centered on mountain biking, I see firsthand the impact of nature on young minds and bodies. Our organization is the mouth of the funnel when it comes to helping new kids discover cycling. With around 700 student athletes on almost 30 teams around the state, our motto is building better humans through mountain biking. Studies show that outdoor learning boosts creativity, focus, and problem-solving skills. It fosters a sense of wonder, it ignites curiosity, and it cultivates a lifelong appreciation for the environment and outdoors. But access to these kinds of enriching experiences is shrinking. Neighborhood green spaces are disappearing, and structured sports often prioritize competition over exploration. That's where parks and trails can come in and save the day. Parks are like classrooms without walls, where young people learn by doing, exploring, and interacting with the natural world. Parks with well-designed and well-maintained natural surface trails offer something special. They cater to all ages and abilities, and they provide safe spaces for beginners to build confidence and experienced explorers to challenge themselves. Fully funding the park's requested budget for natural surface trails isn't just about recreation, it's about investing in the future. It's about fostering a generation of environmentally conscious citizens equipped with the skills and love for nature to become responsible stewards of our planet. And it's about creating lasting memories and building a healthier and happier community. Let's open the doors to nature to all of our kids. Let's invest in trails that nurture exploration, spark curiosity, and connect us to the world around us. Please fully fund the park's requested trails budget. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much for building better humans. I love that. Our next speaker, and I believe our final speaker on virtual, Kate Epstein.
Hi, I'm Kate Epstein, and I have lived by the Sligo Creek for 12 and a half years. So I'm going to add to the cacophony of voices saying that our parks are the jewel of Montgomery County. I walk there every day, sometimes twice a day. I walk there by myself. I walk there with friends. It's a place to socialize. It's a place for mental health. It's also the route to Sligo Middle School and Northwood High School from my neighborhood. And when kids walk through that park, they are not in traffic and they are in nature. And so, like many other people, I will urge you to fully fund the parks. It's an investment in mental health. It's an investment in community. It's an investment in the physical well-being of residents, and it's an investment in drawing more people to this wonderful county. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't believe any of the other signed up speakers are on virtual. So with that, thank you to everybody who's joined us tonight. We added extra slots to allow for as many people as possible. We have our final public hearing on the CIP tomorrow afternoon. I believe we have 15 speakers signed up. And with that, an appreciation to the community for showing up and turning out. This public hearing is now closed, and colleagues, we are now adjourned.